Here's a term you're going to hear more about in the future: practical automation. Let's talk about that and how it relates to you getting in the self-storage business or running your self-storage business. My name's Mark Helm, and I'm the author of Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage, and I'm the creator of the Self-Storage Quick Start Academy. And what I do is I support the small investor who wants to get in the self-storage business or who wants to grow their self-storage business, strategically do so in a way that creates true wealth and a fulfilling career. And for the small investor, practical automation could mean the difference of success or failure over the next upcoming years. Here's what I've noticed. Human beings have a tendency to gravitate towards and reach for new, shiny objects. Just look at how much money is flowing into the self-storage business. Our shiny doors have attracted all kinds of institutional money from Wall Street and funds coming into the self-storage space because we're the new shiny object. And that's not limited to just investors either. As storage owners, we too can reach for the new shiny objects, and for much of us, that is automation. So I've seen kind of two camps of owners. There's more, but two camps. You got one camp, the owner that says, I've been in the business for 20 years. I know what works. It's worked well for me for 20 years, so why should I change? Then you've got the another group of owners that are always implementing the newest technology, the newest strategy, constantly reaching for and trying to do the newest thing. The Buddha talks about the middle path. So I like to think of practical automation as the middle path for self-storage owners. Let me enlighten you on what I'm talking about. So if you're considering where to start on practical automation, where would you start? Now, this episode is not to explain what to do, but just kind of an overview of where, as a small investor, we can begin to start implementing practical automation in a way that immediately begins to go to the bottom line of our financial reports, as well as bring your facility into this century. We've talked about it a lot, but obviously a place to begin might be self-service transactions. Can people not only reserve on your website, but can they do an entire transaction on your website? Can people show up to your facility and if no one's there, do a deal? Can they rent a unit, pay a bill? Is everything integrated with your operating system? That would be a place to look for practical automation. At the beginning place, if you're a very basic beginner, might be in your financials. Nothing keeps you focused on your facility like having in your inbox daily reports that require your attention. Whatever you put your attention on, you tend to move the needle on that. Revenue management is a good place to explore using practical automation. For example, demand pricing and value pricing. You could have software that integrates with your operating system, give you suggestion on unit prices based on what's going on in your sub-market. In other words, if your 10 by 10s are 98% full and everyone else's are over 95% full, you would get suggested pricing for your remaining 10 by 10s, and vice versa if there's a lot of vacancy, so that your customers are experiencing pricing based on the real supply demand going on in the sub-market. You could do value pricing. In other words, Not all 10 by 10s are created equal in your facility. Some 10 by 10s are more convenient and easier to get to than others. Perhaps they're at a higher rent point than your normal street rate. And your managers or you every day get suggested pricing, or weekly or monthly, however you set it up, suggested pricing based on what's going on in your submarket and where in your facility the units are located. One example of using practical automation to enhance revenue management. Access control. Not only am I talking about gate systems getting in your facilities, but even the doors themselves. When someone's late, the technology and automation exists now to automatically have that door overlocked. Ultimately, I foresee that type of technology replacing the doors that we currently have over the next decade. I think it's going to be slow implementation, but I think 10 years from now, you won't see latches on doors. There'll be no overlocks. Everything's done automatically. Improved gate access with Bluetooth technology, where you or your customers just have to get near the gate entry system, and if you're a customer in good standing, the gate opens for you. Yes, there's a lot of ways to employ practical automation in a way that can enhance your bottom line and reduce your operating expenses. Run them based on your business plan and your business strategy. Now, what's always there in the background is the question, what does this mean for our employees? Aren't they going to lose their jobs as we deploy more and more automation in running our business? Well, very often when you attend the seminars and the webinars put on by the sponsors, they'll tell you no, but the reality is probably yes. It is going to reduce some jobs in the self-storage business. But that doesn't mean everybody loses their job. What that means is, to run a successful self-storage business, you're just going to need less employees. Or in other words, your employees are going to be more productive as you deploy practical automation. So 10 years ago, when I've been tracking this for a number of years, we averaged $250,000 per full-time employee. Today, that number is closer to $350,000 of gross revenue coming in our business per full-time employee. Yes, some of that is in price increases and inflation, but most of it is automation and technology. And as we deploy more automation in running our business, we need less employees, and the productivity of each employee goes further. So one employee can cover way more ground today in the self-storage business than they used to. That is, in my opinion, the realistic way to look at how deploying practical automation is going to relate to employees and in the future of this industry. So yes, some people will lose jobs and there'll be less people employed, but what it ultimately means is more productivity per employee as you run your self-storage business. And for the small investor and the small business owner like us, it is still by far the best business to be in. So make 2021 be the year, if you aren't already doing so, that you begin to deploy some practical automation in a way that enhances your bottom line and helps bring your facility forward into this century. So thank you very much. My name's Mark Helm. I'm the author of Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage, and I'm the creator of the Storage World Analyzer, the financial analysis modeling tool that we use as we run the analysis on how deploying practical automation will affect our future cash flows. You can use it too. Go to creatingwealththroughselfstorage.com and hit the Storage World Analyzer tab, or look at storageworldanalyzer.com. Thank you very much, and I look forward to being with you next week.